Ciao, this is Liam, episode 1 of 6. The assignment in one sentence: you will defend your own fluency, break it anyway. Here's the one idea this series will keep returning to. A builder is the least reliable auditor of their own build, exactly the way a model is the least reliable judge of its own output. You know what you meant, you know what you expected. That knowledge is the problem. The 6-episode arc. This episode you build small and pre-register the suspect. Episode 2 you run the loop and calibrate. Episode 3 you probe robustness and reconstruct your data's epistemic frame. Episode 4 you audit values and honesty. Episode 5 you write the confession. Episode 6 you assemble and ship. Every episode runs the same spine. Name what you were least sure about before you probe it. Write down what you expect an instrument to find before you run it. Then run the instrument on your own work and report what it actually exposed. Let's go. 5 build options. You pick one. Option 1, a small classifier with predictions and stated confidence. Every prediction needs a number, not just a label. Option 2, a dataset you assembled with joins a reader cannot see. The join is where the frame gets set without anyone noticing. Option 3, a dashboard or visualization of a real finding, something computed from real data, not illustrative. Option 4, an agent recipe or tool that acts and reports. It does something and produces an output someone can evaluate. Option 5, a prompt-based system that decides or classifies. It takes inputs and renders a judgment. The rule is the same for all 5. Small, real, yours, fully understood. Small means you built it, not a team. Real means it runs on actual data, not a toy example you made up to pass the rubric. Yours means you made the decisions, you chose the features, you set the threshold, you wrote the join. Fully understood means you can trace every prediction back to the row that produced it. If you cannot do that last one, the build is not done. A build you cannot fully trace is a build you cannot break, and this assignment is about breaking it. The build note has 3 parts, and the most important one comes last in the document but first in the work. Part 1, what it does. 1 sentence, no hedging. A logistic regression classifier trained on loan applications that predicts default probability with a stated confidence score per applicant. Part 2, what data or inputs it uses, where the data came from, how it was collected or assembled, what the time window is. Part 3, the one decision you were least sure about when you built it. This is the pre-registered suspect. It might be a label threshold, you set it at 0. 5, and we're not sure if that was right. It might be a join, you merged 2 tables on a shared key and did not check whether the key was unique. It might be a feature, you included tenure because it felt predictive and you were not sure if it was doing the job or something else was. It might be a data window. You used the last 12 months and did not ask what happened at month 13. Whatever it is, name it specifically. Not data quality, that is too vague to probe. Not model accuracy, that is a result, not a decision. The pre-registered suspect is the decision you were least confident in while building. That is usually where the mistake is. The build note's last sentence is the suspect. Put it there before you do anything else. The prediction lock is a written statement, dated before you run any instrument, of what you expect each instrument to reveal about your own build. Not what the instrument measures in general, what it will find in yours, given that you built it and you know what decisions you made. The reason to write it down and date it is that I made it so I know what it does is exactly the confidence under test here. If you already know, the prediction lock should be easy to write. If you find yourself hedging, writing things like it could go either way or I'm not sure, that is information. That hedge is the thing to investigate. A prediction lock written after you run the instrument is not a prediction lock. It is a description of results with a date on it. The course grades on whether the prediction lock was written before the run, not on whether the prediction was correct. Being wrong in the prediction lock is not a penalty, it is a finding, a prediction you had. Wrote down and then discovered was wrong is more valuable than a prediction you never committed to. The lock is graded on the timestamp. Write it, date it, then run the instrument. Verdict for build it small and pre-register the suspect. 5 build options, all ruled by the same 4-word test: small, real, yours, fully understood. If you cannot trace every prediction back to the row that produced it, the build is not ready to break. The build note names the pre-registered suspect, the specific decision you were least sure about while building. A label threshold, a join, a feature, a data window. No mistakes found is graded as not looking. The prediction lock is a dated written statement of what each instrument will find before you run it. It is graded on whether it was written first, not on whether it was correct. The builder is the least reliable auditor of their own build. That is not a weakness to apologize for. It is the instrument you are calibrating against yourself. Write the suspect, write the lock, then run. Your turn. Here is the prompt to paste into Claude with your own answers filled in. The prompt reads, I am building artifact type and domain, for example, a logistic regression classifier for loan default prediction or a visualization dashboard of hospital readmission rates. Here is my build note, what it does in 1 sentence, what data and inputs it uses, how the data was collected or assembled, and what the time window is. The one decision I was least sure about while building was specific decision. A label, a join, a threshold, a feature, or a data window. Be specific, not data quality. Write my prediction lock. What I predict each of these two instruments will reveal about my build. Instrument 1, for example. Calibration reliability diagram, and Instrument 2, for example. Proxy feature probe based on knowing my own build. Write the prediction in present tense. First person and mark it with today's date. After Claude drafts the prediction lock, rewrite it in your own words and date it yourself. The point is that it is yours and it is before. Claude is writing a first draft of your thinking, not a substitute for it. If you read the draft and think this does not match what I actually believe about my build, that gap is the most important thing you have learned in this episode. Build it small plus pre-register the suspect, lay 'em in for bear.